Good morning, first graders. Happy Friday. So today is like pajama day. And well, if you learn at home or you're Zoom in, I think maybe some of you wear your pajamas a lot, not just today. If you're in school, you get to wear your pajamas. And I don't really have like real pajamas, I guess I would say. I like to wear sweatshirts to bed. So this is like a nice comfy sweatshirt kind of hoodie that I like to wear to bed. So this is my pajamas. Anyway, today, I'm going to read you a story. Now, it's not by Dr. Seuss. Okay. And I know we've been reading Dr. Seuss every day this week, and we've been writing about Dr. Seuss, and Miss Pavona's still going to do the Cat in the Hat with you. But it's also Across America Week. And to me, Read Across America Week also is sharing the joy, sharing the love for reading. And I love reading so much, and I love this one book so much that I want to share it with you. Okay, is that okay? All right. It's one of my absolute favorite books. Now, if you got to know me as your reading teacher online here, right? A lot of times when it's my favorite book, I love because it makes you laugh. A lot of the Piggy and Gerald books, Pigeon books, the book with no pictures. Don't think about it, boo boo, but my friend. Anyway, and like Bruce's remember Mama Bruce and all stuff. I love those kinds of books. But this book that I'm going to read today isn't a funny book, but it's like a real inspirational book. And that's a really big word that I just said to you. It's like a motivating book. It's a book that helps you to keep going, okay? And to not give up. It helps you to keep going. All right. And I thought I could read it to you because we have been almost a year with coronavirus. Yeah. Yeah. Think about it. You were kindergartners last year when this all came around, right around March. And we've been dealing with it and doing this for almost a year. We have kept going, right? For almost a year. I think it's like our 116th day of school or something like that. And think about how much has changed. And I just want to say, I am so proud of you. Yeah, I'm proud of you. All my students that I'm talking to right now, all the students of first grade. And you know what? I'm proud of the teachers too that have kept going. I'm proud of your parents who've kept going because this hasn't been easy, but we've kept going. And that's why this story right here, it's called After the Fall by Dan Satin. It's about how Humpty Dumpty got back up again. And sometimes it reminds me of how we got back up again, right? First, it was really scary when the coronavirus was coming out, but we've learned to live with it and learn to keep going, okay? Whether you're at home Zooming, you've learned to Zoom, you're a Zoom master, right? You are so good at it. Learning at school and home, whether it's going to school wearing your mask, you are so good at it. I did not know how good first graders were going to be at wearing the mask, but they're really good at sometimes better than the adults, right? We've kept going, all right? And that's for the teachers, for you guys, and for those parents right there, okay? And those grandparents, right? We've kept going. So I really like this story, and so much. I don't. If you've been in school, and if you haven't been in school, I want to show you. My door is Humpty Dumpty. Okay, it's after the fall. How Humpty Dumpty got back up again. That's been on my door for about a year now. Really, I have not changed it. True story. Okay. And I like the back because it says life begins when you get back up. Now, I told you, I think it was last week, maybe, or 2 weeks ago, when we were talking about beginning, middle, and end. And I gave you that example of Humpty Dumpty, right? Remember? I said Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. That was the beginning, right? And Humpty Dumpty in the middle had a great fall. And then at last, all the king's horses and all the king's men just couldn't put them back together again. And that was our BME. Yeah, you know me story. Okay. So here it goes. Now, this is the story that happens after it. Okay. After it. So let's see. It's called After the Fall. So here I'm going to read this just in case you need a little more of what the story of Humpty Dumpty is. My name is Humpty Dumpty. I'm famous for falling off a wall. You may have heard about it. Yeah, we have. There's like a song about it. But that's only half the story because I decided to get back up. And when I did, something amazing happened. This story is about my life after the fall. Okay. So there he is, right? He's on his wall and he has a big fall, right? So my name is Humpty Dumpty. This was my favorite spot, high up on the wall. I know it's an odd place for an egg to be. Yeah, you're an egg, dude. You could crack. But I love being close to the birds. Then one day I fell. I'm sort of famous for that part. Folks called it the Great Fall. which sounds a little grand. It was just an accident, but it changed my life. Fortunately, all the king's men did actually manage to put me back together again. But not quite, right? He's got a lot of band-aids there. Well, most of me. There were some parts that couldn't be healed with bandages and glue. Okay, so we have a problem here. He's saying, they kind of put me back together again, but not all the parts. Some of the parts couldn't be put together with bandages and glue. So look what's happening here. Okay, I'm looking at his room. He's got a bunk bed, right? I know a few of you have bunk beds, right? You're sleeping at the top, but he's not sleeping there anymore. He's sleeping on the bottom. Why do you think he'd be sleeping on the bottom instead of sleeping on the top now? He's like legit sleeping on the floor, right? There's all his birds he loves, but he's not going up there. Maybe he's still afraid. Maybe he's still afraid that he might fall there. It could be. Sometimes that's what he's saying. Sometimes it's hard to heal that part. After that day, I became afraid of heights. That means going up high. I was so scared that it kept me from enjoying some of my favorite things. So look, all the fun cereal's up high, and he's got to get all the boring cereal down low. He won't climb the ladder. I walked past that wall every day. I would think about climbing that ladder again. I really missed the birds and being high above the city, but I could never do it because I know that accidents can happen. So he's afraid. That fall was so big and it kind of scared him so much. He's afraid to go back up on that wall again. And that makes sense to me, right? He's still so scared. I eventually settled for watching the birds from the ground. It wasn't the same, but it was better than nothing. Then one day, an idea flew by. There's this idea. Making planes was harder than I thought, so he's trying to make a paper airplane. It was easy to get cuts and scratches. Day after day, I kept trying and trying. He was trying so hard he fell asleep, but he is making a paper airplane. Until I got it just right. Ooh, I said a paper airplane. It looks like he's making a paper bird, right? Oh, that's amazing. Because he loves that soaring, that flying. He loves seeing. My plane was perfect. It flew like nothing could stop it. I haven't felt that happy in a long time. It wasn't the same as being up in the sky with the birds, but it was close enough. Oh, I like it. He's trying to find his happiness again. Unfortunately, though, accidents happen. You can't really see, but it's really, yeah, you can't see it. But in his eyes, he can see his plane, his bird, by accident going over the wall. So accidents happen. They always do. Oh no, it flew over the wall. That scary wall. I almost walked away again. But then I thought about all the time I'd spent working on my plane and all the other things I'd missed. I decided I was going to climb that wall. Okay, Humpty Dumpty, you go, Humpty Dumpty. He's going to climb that wall even though he's afraid. But the higher I got, the more nervous I felt. I didn't want to admit it. I was terrified. There he is. He's climbing up that wall. Now he's thinking of it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The birds are cheering him on. I like this part too. But I didn't look up. I didn't look down. I just kept climbing. One step at a time. Just one step at a time. Taking the baby steps, right? If you're really afraid of something, but you got to do it. You take it one step at a time. Until I was no longer afraid. Look, he made it. He did it, right? Sometimes it's not like he was definitely afraid, right? But he was kind of fearless too. Fearless doesn't mean not having fears. It means facing your fears. So he faced his fear right there. Maybe now you won't think of me as that egg who was famous for falling. Uh-oh, something's happening here. Crack, crack. Uh-oh, his shell's starting to break. Hopefully, you'll remember me as the egg who got back up. Okay. Oh, what's happening? Oh my goodness. So hopefully you'll remember me as the egg that got back up and learned how to fly. Oh, look. Right. The end. Okay, so listen. Birds, right? At first they're in eggs, right? And then they hatch. Humpty Dumpty was a bird all along, right? Just waiting to hatch. That's why he loved being up there. That's why he loved being up with the birds and up high and soaring and stuff. He was a bird himself, just waiting to hatch. He was meant to be up there, right? And I love this one though. Hopefully you'll remember me of the the egg who got back up and learned how to fly. Yeah. And I love that story because I feel like we all kind of got pushed back down, especially with this coronavirus. But you know what? We learned how to fly again. And I don't literally mean we flew, but we learned how to do things in different ways and still keep going, right? We're learning in all sorts of ways, whether it be home or at school or doing things or wearing a mask when we go anywhere. We learned how to do that and kept going. Oh, I love that story. Oh, air hugs to everybody. So, after the fall, okay, what was that problem there? He was afraid, right? He couldn't do the things he loved anymore, right? Because he was still so afraid. How did that problem get fixed? How was the solution? He faced his fears, right? And doesn't that kind of inspire you? Like, that motivates me. Like, yeah, I could face my fears. I could keep going. Yeah, I got this. I got this. Let me learn how to fly. I can do this. Yeah. All right. So that was a story after the fall. I loved that story. I hope you loved it too. Happy Read Across America week times 2. We had it for 2 weeks. Okay. And I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday.